Now, some of this, I'm going to go into some things that you may not understand. Some of you do because you're older. Some of you won't. It's okay. You'll have it with you. You'll be able to do it. You'll be able to check out when you're later. But so after you have these four basic things on the bottom, we go to what's called conservative. And in conservative investing, it's where you put money in a money market account, or you can buy bonds, mutual funds, utilities, CDs, put your money in CDs, treasuries, fixed annuities, and you can look a lot of this stuff up later, what it means. But this is very low risk, and however, it doesn't provide a lot of reward, but it is steady growth. And steady, you need some of this stuff at the bottom of your financial pool. So in other words, I did a breakdown, like if I put maybe 20% in the money market, 20% in high-quality bonds, 25% in growth and income funds. Growth and income funds are like on really, strong companies like Coca-Cola, IBM, Pepsi. Some of them have been around for 100 years. Put 15% in utilities, 10% in CDs, 10% in growth funds. In other words, you break it down. Remember the 7 or 8 fields I taught you about yesterday? This is how you can break it into like 7 or 8 fields. And the greatest benefit for the investor that it is diversification here. So you can see all the different places where we diversified in this conservative investing. So I put wealth is not created by accident, and investment sectors in the market would be, remember I talked about this yesterday, when Obama was elected president, we moved, a lot of the real estate guys, or the stock market people started investing in healthcare or biotech, energy, because Obama talks a lot about energy. They started moving their investments into that. But you can see all the different sectors in the market. You got healthcare, you got biotech, you got utilities, real estate, telephone systems, energy, financials, agriculture, transportation, auto, retail, pharmaceuticals. I heard one of the things that always bothered me was that, we had to rescue the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac funds, and if you're young, it don't mean a thing, but we had to rescue that. But most of that is owned by China and Russia. Most of those funds are owned by China and Russia, which means technically they would own all that real estate in America. So if you think about it, because they're the ones that funded most of that. I listened to at the round table where Bob Hartley, I think it was, or Bob Fraser from out at the House of Prayer, Kansas, was saying that that's always been a concern to me. What if they just decided, hey, we want our money? If they said that, they could crash our economy. But the deal is, they need food. And what they were prophetically speaking about our future is that our Midwest, we're going to be able to create the food that they need to keep them from forcing the issue, because we could withhold food. So, in this global economy, all these things work. So I was looking here, agriculture would be a really good thing because Asia needs food. There's a lot of people that are in Indonesia and they're looking for our beef. So agriculture might be a good thing. Transportation obviously isn't. And the automobile isn't. Oh, transportation could be if you're buying like railroads, CFX, something like that. CSX, I mean. Anyway, won't bore you with those details. The next one is enterprising. Now, every step up is a little more risky. And the greater the risk, the greater the reward. So up in here, you're buying stocks from the companies. Other times I had you buy mutual funds. A mutual fund company invests in maybe like 100 companies. And a mutual fund has to invest in all the specters that I showed you there just before. So a mutual fund has to invest in all the specters. But here now you're moving up into, you've already established that, you got some of that going on. Now you're moving up into a little more riskier or a little more potential. So you up here you have stocks where you actually buy the Coca-Cola stock, or you actually buy Pepsi, or you actually buy some of those. You have rentals, you get rental properties, gold and silver funds, which don't buy them. Blue chip stocks, growth mutual funds, utility companies. And then there's the breakdown with your large cap funds. Large cap means large companies. Growth and income fund, international funds, rental properties or REITs. REITs are real estate investment trust funds. You got your precious metal funds. And your small cap funds, I have 15% in small cap funds. Small cap funds are up and coming companies. You invest in what you think is like, it's like my friend, whenever Microsoft came out, he told his investor, he said, get me some of that stock. And his investor said it was coming on the market at $24. And he says, that's way too high for Microsoft. He said, you don't want to pay that. It'll come down. And so his broker actually didn't buy it for him. Well, within a week, it went from $24 to $90. So my friend went around his broker and spent $3,000. He bought $3,000 of Microsoft, and that's all he bought. That would be called an emerging company or a small cap company, up and coming company. So I asked him about 3 years ago. I said, hey, so did you ever invest more in that company? He goes, nah, I just did that one $3,000. I said, well, what's it worth? He said, well, last time I checked, it's a little over $600,000. Can you imagine? However, high risk, high reward. It could have went the other way. It could not even exist today. But in this case, so a lot of times, in doing our homework, we can find some really cool investments. There was a group here at the round table, Investing with Insight, which is in this area, and they can, I've invested in some of their choices. And I don't know if this is fair or not, but I put that one man's response to the question of how much should I invest in the stock market is whatever you're willing to lose. That is if you don't do your homework. Investing is not gambling. You actually invest in a company that you believe will succeed. So it's up to you to do your homework on that company. So then at the top is what you call speculation, where you invest in gas and oil or construction, commercial real estate, gold and silver coins. Now, you hear a lot about gold and silver is a great investment. It's not. It's a great insurance policy. It really is. It's something that protects you because, our money could go disappear or maybe not, but gold and silver always stand. But you only do it after everything else is done below. New company ventures, raw land, penny stocks, IPOs, biotech, anyway, or you can even start your own business. Now, this level has a much higher risk but can bring higher rewards, like in real estate development. I started real estate development just at the time when the economy went kaput. So now I have approval to build 745 homes but no buyers. So that is high risk because if nobody buys, I still got to make the payments every month on millions of dollars that's sitting there, there's nobody buying houses. So that's high risk. But if that all gets developed, that's great reward. So if I didn't have the bottom part of the pyramid secure, I'd be in trouble. Now what's happening is because those payments have to be made, the bottom is funding my high risk because right now there's nobody buying that stuff. You understand? That's the importance of having a solid foundation. And so you can, I just put down real estate development, aggressive growth funds, commercial real estate. Commercial real estate is really good return on your money because they do what's called a triple net lease, which means that on my commercial real estate, the renters pay everything. They pay my insurance, they pay my taxes, they pay the mortgage, they pay everything, and plus then I get all the extra. But when a commercial property sits empty, it could sit empty a year. If traffic patterns change, you're busted. That's why banks hate to lend money to restaurants because restaurants traditionally, all it takes is a burp in the traffic pattern, and your restaurant doesn't exist. So here it is. We have we started from the foundation and we built ourselves up to where we can do speculative stuff. Now, my guys, when I was teaching the class, they jumped from their foundation up to speculative. They started building spec homes. All right, that's way up here at the top. So I'm worrying for them. They're just out there busting themselves, getting this thing done. And I'm saying, God, if the economy turns, these boys are in trouble. Well, they weren't. I mean, they sold it. They did good. But take that today. I know people who went and built spec houses today that they're Christians who are actually here this week that are being forced into foreclosure because they thought, they did it while the economy was good, and now they're in trouble. So, wealth's not created by accident. Investment strategies will vary according to your age. So when you're young, you can take a risk. When you're over 50, you're supposed to slow down. Protect what you have. That's the basic principle. So there's the percentages that you do in each of those categories depending on whatever age you are. All right, and there's my greater risk yields greater reward, safer investments, you get less return.